Hello and welcome back to Cop Noise TV Extra Time Special, where I want to look at the current situation at Liverpool and to delve a little bit further into some points that I think certain Liverpool fans, there's a bunch of Liverpool fans that I think need reminding this, because at the moment in time I think it's fair to say the fan base is completely split. Maybe the scales are tipping even more in the favour now of Arne out. That's what it's coming down to now. And I'll never be one of those guys, I'll never be one of those fans that will start calling for Slot's heads, we'll be going to the games, booing, and all this kind of stuff. That just isn't me. Not saying there's anything wrong with that. Me as a fan, I just don't pay my money to go to Anfield to boo the team. I think, if anything, my job as a supporter is to support the team. The team's obviously in a bit of a poor state right now, and therefore, what's the point in me going to Anfield week in, week out, just to hurl a load of abuse at the players, boo them, shout observatives, and just, that's just not me. Again, nothing against people who want to do that, but that's just not me. But I think the pantomime villain at the moment is Arne Slot. And look, Slot's come under a lot of criticism for the playing style, and quite rightly so. I want to make it abundantly clear that although this video is made with the intent of purposes to shine light on areas that I think have kind of gone under the radar a little bit and fans don't really seem to be paying attention, I think they are really important, rather than just completely say, this is on the manager, he's shit, the team's shit, he's playing shit, get him out. I don't like that mentality. I like to think about stuff, put things into perspective, and gather my thoughts in order to give what I see as an informative and a valid opinion. And there's a few things which we compile on the manager. The style of play at the moment is poor. And I say not at the moment, depends what Liverpool team turn up, because you could have the Liverpool team that played against Leeds, you could have the Liverpool team that played against Nottingham Forest, or you could have the Liverpool team that played against Arsenal, and you could have the Liverpool team that played against Marseille. Who knows? We don't know which one's going to turn up. And that's a frustrating thing for fans, the fact that Slot cannot tune this team to be consistent in their performances, and that is on the manager, because the manager gets paid a lot of money to pick a team that he thinks is best equipped to go out there and win football matches. And sometimes they can do that, and sometimes they can't. And us as fans, that's where we get frustrated with the manager, with the coaching staff, to say, why the fuck can this team not perform consistently twice a week? Who knows? But what I do want to shed light on is a couple of areas where I think the hierarchy at Liverpool have completely and utterly dropped a bollock with this. They've a massive fuck up, in my opinion. There's the left-hand side, whether they thought that potentially letting Diaz go and Nunes go, that Diogo Jota was going to be able to cover the left / number 9. He was going to do two roles, a bit of a hybrid role, because we've all seen Jota can play off the left. It's in his song, he cuts in off the left wing. So we all know Diogo Jota could have done that job. Did the club think that this was going to be the case? I don't know. But however, in the transfer market, they chose to sign, this is in the summer obviously just gone, they chose to, sell Diaz and not replace him, and basically put all their eggs in the basket of Cody Gakpo. And Cody Gakpo is frustrating a lot of the Liverpool fans. And I did a bit of research in this, and if you can actually, I don't have the actual numbers here, but I have done this, and feel free to do your own research, guys, but I kind of stand by this. Cody Gakpo's output in terms of goals, assists, XG, all that kind of stuff is pretty similar to where he was last season. If Cody Gakpo continues the form that he has done this last season to this season, the numbers will be pretty much identical. So I'm just looking at that. I'm going to get the numbers up because I've got to actually add them on my phone. Last season, Cody Gakpo, he played 35 matches in the Premier League. His minutes was 1,900, a little bit over. At this moment in time, he's played 21 matches in the Premier League, and he's on pretty much 1,500 minutes. So he's well on his way to doing the same thing. Last season, his output, he got 10 goals. At the end of the season, what are we, just over halfway now? He's got 5 goals. Last season, he finished on 4 assists. This season, he's already got 3 assists. So his numbers are very, very similar. So Champions League, we'll look at this as well to kind of like put a little bit more meat on the bones, if you like. Last season, Cody Gakpo in the Champions League, he had 8 matches, started 4, so he played 369 minutes. Cody Gakpo this season in the Champions League, he's had 6 matches, started 4, he's played 305 minutes. So he's pretty much an hour, just over an hour short of doing the same minutes. In terms of output, he finished on 3 goals, 1 assist last season in the Champions League. He's already on 2 goals and 2 assists in the Champions League. So this is what I'm saying. Cody Gakpo's numbers are pretty much similar to what he was doing last season. So I feel as though, because he's playing week in, week out now, whereas last season he was in and out of the side. Obviously, Diaz had spells where he was playing a false 9, but predominantly he was playing the left-hand side, either him or Gakpo. And he wasn't playing week in, week out as Cody Gakpo is this season. So I think he's becoming a little bit of a scapegoat for some fans. He's cutting a frustrating figure because we know what he likes to do. He likes to cut inside. He likes to get that shot off with his right foot. But one of the best players that ever used to do this, I remember, was Arne Robben. Played for Chelsea. We all knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to go down the right-hand side, cut inside, left foot, bend a shot away. Everyone knew what Robben did, but they could never stop it now. No, you never really saw people moaning at Chelsea because Arne Robben, he was a quality player. And I'm not saying Cody Gakpo's of that level, but what I'm saying is there's similarities, and I just feel as though he's becoming a little bit of a scapegoat to some fans, maybe because of his predictability. And do I think that Cody Gakpo should mix his game up? He should go around the outside every now and again? Yeah, I think he should do it a little bit more. And to give him credit, he actually does do it. He did it against, I can't even remember now. It might have been Marseille, was it? A game just gone recently. He went to the byline, he cut the ball across. There was no one in the middle. There was no one in the middle to tap it in because Liverpool are short of number 9s at the moment. Obviously, Alexander Isak, long-term injury, and Hugo Ekitike, for whatever reason, and I'm going to get to this in a little bit, but the guy just can't fucking seem to string 90 minutes together. He's not fit. For whatever reason, in January, he's not fit. So, Cody Gakpo was one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to highlight how, the fans are getting frustrated, but is it justified? I'm not too sure. And one of the biggest things of all that I want to point out on this video, and whether I don't know how much influence Arne Slot has on transfers at Liverpool. I imagine that he will identify targets maybe, or positions where he wants. The club will bring him maybe a collective of players, these ones available. He may cherry pick, I don't know. But given the fact that he's only been there, a season and a half now, I can't imagine. I'm sure he has a say, but how much pull he has with that, I don't know. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make, and this is pure, nothing short of neglect by the hierarchy at Liverpool, is the centre-back position. Now, we've all dreamt of a period of time where Liverpool could go out and spend fucking millions and millions of millions, like Man City have done, and basically fucking buy the league. As much as, we're very proud as Liverpool fans that we've built organically, if you want to call it that. Jurgen Klopp came in, we was kind of pretty much say in the mud, but we wasn't really going anywhere. We was very much a cup team. You know, we were picking up the odd pieces of silverware here and there in the cups, but in terms of the league, we were miles off it. Klopp came in, and he kind of built us from the ground up again. And fair play to that. You know, we all are very proud of how Liverpool have been able to do that. And you know, under those Klopp years, we saw arguably some of the best football, maybe even the best Premier League Liverpool team. I don't know. There's an argument for that. You know, when we had Salah, Mane, and Bobby Firmino playing up top, we was unbelievable to watch for a period of 2-3 years. But anyway, going off topic a little bit, the point I'm trying to make is, at this moment in time now, Liverpool have got themselves in a position where we've been able to go in one transfer window and spend nearly £500 million in one transfer window. Given, yeah, fair enough, the half of that probably went on 2 players, and Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak, I have no doubt, will be unbelievable players for Liverpool Football Club. I have no doubt about that. But Liverpool Football Club and their board knew that we needed 2 centre-halves in this window. We did. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I don't give a fuck how much potentially we had to maybe not sign Alexander Isak, sign another striker for maybe half that money and put some money towards centre-backs. But Liverpool needed 2 centre-backs in the summer transfer window. We flirted with fucking Crystal Palace and Mark Gay, and if the rumours led to be true, if we'd have thrown another £5 million down, we'd have got our man. But we'd have still been short. And I know we got Leone, but he's a young lad. He's not for the now, I don't believe. And Liverpool have completely fucked up here. And especially now, we're left in a position where we have got one fit centre-back, one, in Virgil van Dijk. Joe Gomez is out. Obviously, Ibu Konate is out for personal reasons, and thoughts are with Ibu, friends and family. You know, he needs to take his time. He needs to get his head right and make sure that he comes back when he is ready. You can't rush Ibu Konate back from what has happened to that poor guy. But Liverpool, the board, the hierarchy, we're relying on fucking Joe Gomez to be a stand-in centre-half. How many fucking years have we flirted with the idea of Joe Gomez can fill in at right back, Joe Gomez can cover at centre half, Joe Gomez can cover at left back? It must be 3, 4, maybe 5 years now. We've never been able to rely on Joe Gomez as a footballer. And I like Joe Gomez. I think he's a great footballer. When Joe Gomez can string back-to-back games for Liverpool, he is a quality player. But the problem is, he can't do it. His body's fucked. He's too fragile. He had a fucking collision with Alisson Becker and had to go off. This is how fragile this guy is. He is literally made of glass, and that's not Joe's fault. He's obviously just so injury prone that a gust of wind could force him out for a couple of months. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but you know, and I'm being sarcastic with that. As I say, I'm a big fan of Joe Gomez, but what the fuck were we thinking going into this season, thinking that, well, we've got Virgil, we've got Ibu, we didn't get Gaze, so we've signed Leone, and then we're going to have Joe Gomez as his third choice. So Leone was going to be choice number 4. So third choice was going to be Joe Gomez. And I'm not being funny, but the amount of football that Liverpool play, and given the form of Ibu Konate at the beginning of the season, there was an opportunity for a third choice centre-back to be in the team, because Konate was, let's have it right, he was awful at the beginning of the season. He was playing some of the worst football I've seen him play in his Liverpool career. And I dare say that if Liverpool had a better option at centre-back than either Joe Gomez or Leone, they would have been playing. But the fact is, we didn't. And now we're in January. Leone's out long-term, pretty much out for the season, so you may as well rule him out. Joe Gomez, I think, has already had 2 injuries this season already. We're nearly at the end of the January transfer window, and we've still not signed another centre-back. What the fuck are their club doing? Really? What the fuck are they doing? And I understand why they didn't get Mark Gay, because 300 grand a week, if that's true, that's Virgil van Dijk money. Probably more than what Virgil's on, maybe. I don't know. I think Virgil, he'll be there and thereabouts. But you're talking Virgil van Dijk money with that now. Mark Gay is no Virgil van Dijk, albeit Virgil van Dijk fucking is not, you know, he had a bit of a stinker against Bournemouth at the weekend. But you know what I'm trying to say. And if Liverpool Football Club, and I think they will, gamble that they're going to go the rest of the season relying on Virgil van Dijk, Ibe Konate, when he comes back, we don't know when that will be, Joe Gomez, who is currently injured at the moment and he's not up for selection this week, there's no timescale when he's back. We've got two fit centre-backs, senior centre-backs, let's call it that, because obviously we've got Nalo and the likes of those. I think Figueroa, it was a centre-half in the unders, but basically two senior centre-backs, and one of them we can't choose at the moment, so we have one. And Liverpool have not signed a centre-back in this January transfer window. That blows my mind. And that, I dare say, is not on Arne Slot. That is the hierarchy of Liverpool gambling that they are going to get through the rest of the season with this squad. Now, if they've got ambitions of getting in this top four, they need to sign a fucking centre-half, and pretty goddamn quick, because the clock is ticking on this transfer window and Liverpool need to sign not one of these 21, 22-year-olds that's for 1-2 years time, 12, 18 months time or whatever. No. We need a centre-back who can go straight into the starting 11, straight in there, Premier League experience or Champions League experience, and can play alongside Virgil van Dijk. That is a must. And then the other point I wanted to raise, which is similar to the centre-back situation, but it's on the attacking right now. So Mohamed Salah, we all love Mohamed Salah. He's basically one of the best ever players, arguably in the top 3 of all time. I don't think there's any questions asked there. He'll be all-time great in the Premier League. But his backup at the moment is Federico Chiesa. Do we agree with that? I think, yeah. Federico Chiesa is the backup to Mohamed Salah on the right wing. Arne Slot does not want Federico Chiesa in his Liverpool squad. I think that's safe to say that Arne Slot will pick anyone he can above Federico Chiesa anytime. If he's forced into playing a team where Federico Chiesa is the fucking last senior fit member, then he might start him. But other than that, Slot will do all he can not to play Chiesa. He doesn't fancy him, whether it's to do with fitness, personality, lack of quality, I don't know. But the fans at the beginning of the season, or maybe like a third of the way into the season, were screaming for Chiesa to get more minutes. Chiesa needs to play, start Chiesa, drop Salah, play Chiesa. I'm sorry, Federico Chiesa is not good enough of a player to be starting football games for Liverpool. He started a game recently, I can't remember who it was against. I should have done my research, so forgive me for that, but it wasn't too long ago. I think it was in December. It was rubbish. It was garbage. Might have been, was it Leeds? Someone let me know in the comments. Anyway, he started a game of football and he offered nothing. Federico Chiesa is a willing player. He will run his socks off, he will give the all for the team, but ultimately the quality is not there. The finished product is not there. And that's not Federico Chiesa's fault. But the point I'm making, again, is the club's neglect in knowing that we were short in options on the left, as I've discussed earlier. We bought two number 9s. Cool, we had that position ticked off. Ultimately, Alexander Isak picked up an injury. The club could have not foreseen that. But the right-hand side has not changed. Chiesa was here last season. Mo Salah was here last season. And Arne Slot did not fancy Federico Chiesa last season. So why have the club once again decided to throw all their eggs in one basket That being Mohamed Salah, we all know how good he can be on his day, but ultimately Salah of last season has not really shown up this season yet. So therefore, fans are getting frustrated, drop Salah, but you can't drop Salah because there's no one to fucking replace him. And again, the complete arrogance of Liverpool as a club to spend all this big money knowing full well that there was massive holes in the rest of the team. And look, was it a long-term strategy to kind of fill the places that they did, i.e. Wirtz, Isak, and the two fullbacks in Kirkez and Frimpong, and think, right, that'll get us through to next summer, because at the end of the day, we're not signing no one in January. So therefore, did they really think that this is going to get us through to next summer? We're going to put a title charge with this squad together, and let's just hope for the best. And the complete and utter, I don't know whether it's arrogance, whether it's naivety, ignorance, I don't know. But what I want to conclude by saying is, all this stuff, for me, is not an Arne Slot. Can we criticise Slot for what goes on the pitch? Yes, we can, because he is the manager that picks the team. He does the tactics on the training ground. He puts everything together behind the scenes for match days. So if Liverpool are not performing on a match day, quite rightly so, the finger gets pointed at the manager. But all these things here, which are restricting the manager from putting maybe a fit, healthy, quality players on the pitch, that for me, the criticism needs to go up to Hughes and Edwards and FSG on why have we spent all this money and left the squad short in so many key areas. The left-hand side, the right-hand side, and the centre-back as well. Them, for me, are answers that the fans need to be kind of questioning rather than just this slot in or slot out. Let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments below. Smash a like and subscribe if you've not done already. Thanks for watching the video. I'll catch you in a bit.